been a good week to just try and get better. It's been a week of not Ohio State preparation as much as been try to shore up holes and blind spots we have in our offense and our defense. And hopefully they'll show itself in the weeks to come. Today and yesterday would be more of Ohio State, who I think is a team going through some similar issues right now, and they're better than their record. If you look at their scores in some games, they're right there or have been there in one games. And we're going to have to play better than we did up in East Lansing, that's for sure. So it's going to be certainly a challenge. I think we'll have a great crowd. We're going to welcome back a lot of our alums, our basketball alums from years past, and it's honoring the 77 team, the Big Ten champions. So it will be, hopefully it will be a great day to a great Saturday evening here at Chrysler Center.
Maybe you want to start us off?
What's been the general timeline of this week, given that you had kind of
Yeah, Monday was sort of, let's get better from the Michigan State game. I mean, there was not a great rest there. I mean, we went for 90 minutes and we went hard because we had directly addressing what we saw in that game. And then Tuesday was off, and then Wednesday, Thursday have been good practices, and today we'll scale it way back. Try to just be off the floor in 90 minutes if we can, with a lot of walk and talk type of stuff.
Mark?
When you talked this morning on the radio about the post and those guys that you haven't thrown it in there this
Yeah.
much since Deshaun, how does that change kind of in terms of you guys and your approach, and how hard is it to teach guys like Zach and Derek who have done it without that for 3 years?
Well, we saw some things that have been very effective. I looked at Mo's field goal percentage here, and he's at 72% on twos, and he's been very effective there. And DJ, and it's just like as this game continues to evolve, one thing doesn't change. If you got a good post man and you throw it to him, it simplifies a lot of things. So we can't continue to add movements and do different things against different defenses. Now we just got to get ourselves set for now and for years to come, that post entries are much more consistent, teach our players to throw it in there. So hopefully we can get that ball in there to Mo, to DJ more. Right now, those would be the two primary targets.
And knowing that longer term, those two guys could be the focus of this team next year?
Exactly. We're a little bit for now and a whole lot for later. Because it is, you look at Wisconsin and you study this, Wisconsin's consistency, everybody, they got 3 or 4 guys that can post. You can have all kinds of tricks against them, they see it all, and there's not a whole lot of timing involved. There's just get them open through maybe a screen or two, make a good pass, get it in there, and then play off post action. Get the ball behind the defense. We haven't done a lot of it. Did a lot more at Canisius, West Virginia, a little bit of it, and with Deshaun, we did an awful lot of it.
You were obviously pretty unhappy about the last game. Do you have a sense for how the players absorbed that and reacted to it through practice this week?
Yeah, I think we were very committed, all on board, understood it. I don't think we can not use the excuse, but Zach's flu was, in retrospect right now, probably shouldn't have played him as much. He said he felt okay, but his game wasn't up to how his spirit was. And so it was really disappointing. And like I said, Michigan State had a great plan, and they played us really, really well. At the same time, we did not we did not play with the precision and some of the physicality you have to play with on offense. Defense as well, but on offense as well. You got to play through. Derek was the only one that played through the bumps that you see in Big Ten play.
Andrew?
Hey, Coach, you talked about your desire for Duncan to let it fly. It seemed like against Michigan State there was some hesitancy at times. I mean, what is the dialogue between you two?
Well, it's a 3-year dialogue. And that he continues to work. Yesterday he was absolutely sensational at shooting the ball on the lift, getting it, shooting it right away, being very aggressive with it. And it's been challenging but shooters are tough to understand. Sometimes if they catch the ball, or it may have been, as I looked at one time, we were all upset with him, the pass to him was behind him, right? Even though he's wide open, the pass was behind him. The better the passers, the better the shooter. And if they don't feel it, If they don't feel it when they catch it, then they don't want to shoot it. And I want that to happen. That's a good decision to make. But we got to get the ball to him better, but he's also got to have this strength. I'm a shooter on the catch. I'm going to shoot it unless I'm guarded, instead of turning and saying, am I guarded? Be a shooter who plays off of that.
And then the offense in general, I think it was maybe Monday on the radio, you said the ball was sticking a
Yep.
lot. I guess why would that?
We didn't attack on the ball screen very well. We didn't do a lot of things. We were like probing and looking and not going downhill, and a lot of that happened with any type of physical bump, or it just stuck. It just can't, it's gotta move more. And that's been an emphasis this week. Hopefully we'll do that.
James?
John, over these past 5 games, do you think Derek's maybe been playing the best basketball he's played at Michigan?
Tough to measure that, but I think he's playing pretty well. I love that he's very confident right now. He's taking the ball to the basket better. If you look, his 2-point field goal percentage is way up from he's never been over 40. And he is way over 40, and he is playing really well. So the numbers would say that, that's for sure. And his effort has been tremendous, right? And so it's really, really important that he just continues to trend in that way. And also the same thing at the defensive end. He's got to continue to grow in that area. I make the analogy to a quarterback in football, right, knows all his team's plays. And when you're the quarterback on defense, when you're guarding their quarterback, you got to be like a safety back there. You got to have that same mentality. What are they running? What am I doing? And sometimes we lose that we're just down there maybe just playing, and we got to have that mindset. And I talked to him about this week, and he's really embraced it.
Do you feel like maybe he's carrying that burden that maybe for this team to be at his best, he has to be at his best, where in years past he maybe hasn't had to carry that
Well,
burden?
certainly different personnel on the team when they first got here. I mean, there was a couple of pros on the team, really 3 pros on the team, 4 pros on the team when he first was the point guard. So it is much different for him. At the same time, he is he's a much better player than he was when he first came in.
I'm here with Zach.
Based on what you've seen from Ohio State, are you able to hypothesize maybe why they're not as good as the record? and
Oh,
why
they're so
dangerous?
close. They're just like we have been. That a shot here, a shot there, a turnover, a tough call. I mean, the games that they've lost. You just look at all of us that are bunched in the middle of this league right now. And winning on the road is a challenge. They did get a really good one at Nebraska, but it's a challenge for them. And so they're really close. But as far as they have everybody back as well. And so that doesn't mean you're going to be a better team, just because, as we found out, you have to push through ceilings in your season, ceilings in your individual development, and if you don't push through them, you don't improve a whole lot. And it's a challenge for both of us right now.
Brendan?
You guys have been lucky, or whatever word you want to use for not having injuries and stuff like that. A lot of continuity all year round.
Yeah.
What do you think has been the residuals of that, good, and if there is anything bad, of not having any kind of shakeups or anything like
Well,
that?
and I said the Zach Irvin shakeup there with having the flu would be one example of it. Does shake you up a little bit. Obviously it's been very good. We're certainly, if we had an injury to one of those starters, I don't know if we're even 4-5 right now. So it's been a blessing. At the same time, we got to continue to develop our bench to see in practice and hopefully more in games going forward that we got to be ready for a situation like with Zach, that if he's not playing well, get him out. Where do we go to that? So it's, most seasons we haven't been injured. It's just the last 3 have been just incredible. So I think it's more the norm right now instead of speaking about what it's like not to be normal.
And when you talk about the blind spots on offense and defense, when you do have a rotation that's been so set, now in February,
Yep.
those blind spots, how do you kind of view?
Well, our offense is still as good as anybody's in the league. I mean, it is really good. It's the defensive blind spots that are really getting us. It's the same mistake that we made in November, that we made earlier in October, that we made last year. And so it's befuddling, and we just got to keep going. And like you said, it's like being a teacher, right? And you go back and you get in the classroom and you give a kid you guys got to learn his multiplication tables, and every day he comes back and he doesn't know it, you know, well, someday you tell him you're gonna get it, Johnny, and the next day you put him out and you make him sit outside the classroom like you probably had to do, and the next day he's doing something else, and you're trying everything you can to motivate him to learn his multiplication tables, and we haven't been able to get that with some of our guys yet, but we're just gonna keep persistent, and one day it will be quicker for everybody.
Back over here with Kevin.
Coach, you just mentioned Zach and, excuse me, Zach and him getting through kind of being a little bit of a week of ball or adversity for you guys to really go through. Right now, is upping Duncan's minutes in situations like that the best option we have, and how are you exploring that option?
Yeah, that's, you know, we need to get Ibby and X out there. They just have to play better in practice. And one day they're a little bit better, one day defensively, offensively, whatever. There's just this ceiling that they hit, and we got to push them through it. So the best option for me always has been, I'd rather a guy who's got a proven track record of doing it, stick with him through that, and hopefully he'll get it going, as opposed to just throwing somebody in there that you don't see consistently in practice excelling, right? If he's not excelling against Andrew Dockage and Sean Lonergan and Brent Hivitz every day, it's hard to say that he's going to excel in that game. However, and those kids are good players. Charles Matthews is like an elite defender. Some of our defensive woes will go away as soon as he steps on the court. He's going against, people are going against him every day. I get that. But they got to show it to me, and if they do,